Mudvayne, Not Falling. Okay, so this is in a drop C tuning, C, G, C, F, A, D. Okay. And the intro section here, we'll see some of these riffs later on. And it's going to start with this octave at the 3 on the G and 5 on the F. And we'll just, accidentally be hitting this, dead string for the, what's now the middle C here. So don't really worry about it. We're just strumming away on this octave, the 3 on the G and the 5 on the F. Okay, we just hit it, slide it down a fret, so we're at 2 and 4. And we just start wailing away there for a good, 12 strums or so. All right, and it's just about getting a tempo up on it. Okay, and we just crank that out about 4 times in the intro. And then there's a little kind of buffer thing where we hit a 3s on the low C and the G here, just a couple times. It's just kind of like a couple little pickup notes that get into the main, chorus riff, which is, the second part of the intro here. So we just hit those really quick and then come off to open on the C and G, hammer it back on the 3, back to open. All right, and then we just kind of cut it for a brief moment there, and then we just crank out a quick open, 3 open, open, 3 open. Okay, so it's... All right, we continue that a couple more times. And then do 3s to open. And then we come down and hit these high octaves at 3 on the middle C and 6 on the high A string here. And it's just a quick 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide it down to 2s and 5s. So just try that whole riff slowly here. Right. So we would crank that out a couple times and then just finish it by doing that initial measure of it once more. And then we just rest right there and into the verse. Now with these verse sections, the timing gets a little funky. Like, there's a couple measures in there that aren't quite a full 4 count, But we're doing, kind of this droning G note. So just like this low G. And we're going to come up high to 10 on this, what was the G string, it's now the F. So we'll just be there, strum that out, a measure's worth. It equates to something like 5 strums or so, just kind of loose, a little bit arbitrary. Just something like that. Just a back and forth strum to fill out the measure. Where we're just, hitting this low G, you can kind of deaden, this middle C, and we're just, worrying about where we're going with this note on the F, which was the G string. So we'll just, consequently be hitting some dead strings along with it. That type of feel to it. Down a fret to the 9 for the next measure. Same type of deal there. And then down to 7s. Now here's where kind of the timing gets a little wonky. We come up to a couple of 12s. And then a quick 10. And then back up high now to a full measure of 14s with the open low G. Okay, then we just drop down to 9s, full measure. And then another little kind of split measure here, just like a few 7s. And then we would just, cut that last count or so and then get right back to the start of it. So, some funky timing mixed in there, but, just kind of listen to it and get the feel of it and continue it through there. At the last time through, there's just an extra little kind of buffer measure to fill in as we get back to the chorus. And with the chorus, as I noted earlier in the intro, that second part of it, it's essentially the chorus going on. There's just a couple little things tacked on at the end. So we, just jam out our usual riff, the, hammer-ons to the 3s and all that, and then our high 3 and 6 to 2 and 5. Okay, that type of deal. crank through that a few times, and then we wrap it up with this new chord. And we're just going to be at 3s on the CGC, 5 on the middle F there. And it's just, you know, a dynamic where it's 1, 2, 3, hesitate, 1, 2, 3, hesitate, 1. Right. And then a following measure of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then just, you can quickly go, you know, 3 on the middle C, a couple of those to 2, and just do the octave with it, the 6 to 5. Just a quick little wrap up of it. Something like that. And of course, finish by just doing that quick little first measure of the chorus. And we just cut into the next section. Now the second verse throws another little twist to it here. We're essentially going to do, you know, what we did in the first verse, but now we're going to add rests to it. So we'll just come up and do our, you know, open G to 10s, and we just do about 3 and then rest. All right, that type of feel to it. Then to the 9s, rest. 7s, rest. And here it gets a little weird. Come up to 12, just hit a couple of those. Instead of going to that 10, you can just rest. All right, and now we get up to these 14s, and with these 14s, we just let them cut loose. We don't rest on these, and it's, you know, full measure there. Okay, so a new dynamic involved with that, and we repeat just what we did there twice. And after we do that, we essentially just revert back to the first verse and just do the first verse again. All right, so, you know, we would go through that whole thing after we do our second set of 14s, you know. Then we just wrap that up like we would in the first verse by going to a measure of 9s with the open G. And no resting at this point because we're just going right back into the first verse style. So 9s to 7s with that funky timing. All right, and then just continue on as we were doing the first verse all the way through again. Bridge section, we take that very first intro riff, you know, the octave riff. All right, and we just crank that out a couple times. And now we add this new kind of pull off 3 open riff where we're going to pull off 3s to opens and do a quick open back to 2. Pull that off back to open. 3 pull off to open. 2 pull off to open. So we're just going really quick between 3 to open, you know, strumma open, 2 to open, strumma open. Okay, we just go through it twice, just like that. And then just wrap it all up by doing a quick open, 3, 2, open. So it's just this really quick, like, pull off riff happening. So just slowly. Alright, and it's just a matter of getting that down and just cranking it out. Okay, just being able to crank that sucker out just like that. And you go through it twice. And so essentially we're going to repeat those 2 different patterns 3 times. But there's a little hitch in it where on the 3rd time of that second riff, instead of just doing that twice, we do it 3 times. So a little funky thing in there. And after that happens, we would do the first bit 4 times. Okay. And after you go through that 4 times, we come up to this new chord, this new dissonant thing going on here, where we'll be 9 on the G, 10 on that middle C, and 11 on the F. Okay, nice nasty sound thing there. And it's just kind of a quick strum of 7. And then hesitate, 1, 2, 3. Hesitate, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.